Squeeze. Let's do it.
Welcome to Toy Business Unboxed, your gateway to the secrets of the toy industry. Here, Jason Shea, a toy entrepreneur and expert in the field.
Every product we develop is really inspired by some of the real life experience that we have with our son.
60% of all toys last year were sold on Amazon, which is incredible.
Be passionate about it because it's a road, it's a journey.
Like when you have an idea that you think is like gonna somewhat like change the world, make things better, I'd say go for it.
We'll guide you through the enchanting world of toy design, marketing, and manufacturing. Now let the unboxing begin.
Hello, welcome back to another episode of Toy Business Unboxed. I'm your host, Jason Shea. In today's episode, we have a special guest, Noshita, an accomplished toy designer and passionate advocate for the power of play. With over 9 years of experience in the international toy industry, she has contributed to the development of over 200 products over her career. Today, we'll be discussing about why investing in design, research, and user study is critical for a toy startup, and also how you want to do it so you can stand out in the crowded marketplace. Noshita, thank you so much for joining us on today's podcast.
Thank you so much for calling me for this podcast.
So first of all, you have a very impressive career in toy design, but how do you even got into the industry? Like, how do you get this? Why do you got into the industry doing what you do?
Actually, from the very beginning, when I was a kid, I was very much interested in toys. And
Okay.
specifically, I had love for children.
Yeah.
So, design and children. And during my engineering, I got to know about toy and game design as a
Mhm.
education,
Okay.
masters. So
Yes.
that's why, it just mapped with the manifestation, it mapped with the lifeline, and
Mhm.
then it just synchronized with everything to all together. And then I thought, why not, if we can design toys, if there is education which is available, let me try it, because I was a creative person and I
Mhm.
can think like a child. I was childish in nature and I love
That's me.
kids. So that's how I persuaded for my master's in toy and game design, and that's how I.
Oh, whoa! You
Yeah.
actually got a master in toy design as
Yes,
well. Wow,
yes,
that's incredible.
yes.
Okay, and like I shared before the interview, I have like almost zero background in toy design. I just started my toy company because of my son. I didn't
But
went to
that's
school
how
for it.
you set up an example.
Yeah, but I think you have a very different perspective, I guess, coming from the academic background. So, what was actually being taught in school when it comes to toy design? What do you actually learn in school that you're also still using as of today in your career?
Yeah. So very important aspect that I've learned during my toy design course. It was around 2.5 years of course,
Oh,
where
wow. Okay.
you have to learn a lot of different aspects of toy design.
Okay.
What is play and what is child psychology,
Mm,
understanding children from various age group.
yes.
Then many different tasks and projects were given to us. Faculties were there. We learned character design, we learned design form
Interesting.
product, and we learned how to do user study. We did a lot
Yes.
of projects all together, and we
Okay.
also learned design process. So
Oh, okay.
entirely clubbing all the projects together and all the different modules: child psychology, form, design, product, materials, elements of play. So many
Mhm.
aspect of toy design we learned together, and then we did those project on live projects as well.
Oh, you did live
So,
project. Did you actually
yes.
launch any toy during your 2.5 year?
Yes,
Oh,
actually, there
wow.
is one
Okay.
company. I will not mention the detail of the company,
Sure.
but they have launched the entire, product line.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Did you get
Yeah.
paid for that?
Of course, of course. Of course,
Okay.
I was a
Uh,
design manager and a lead designer there. So, of course, I was
uh,
getting paid.
okay, good. I said,
Yeah.
otherwise, are you just like a intern? You're working for free, or what's going on in that
No, no,
arrangement?
I was a full
No.
time designer. I was a proper lead designer working with them, and end
Oh.
to end project where I've worked on the drawing sketches of the product, understanding the requirement of the company, what they want in the product, and of course understanding children. And there were a lot of other team members, educators were there, child psychologists were there, pediatrics were there. So it was a team all together, and then we made that product,
Oh.
toys.
I see. I see. I see. How
Yeah.
long does that process take you usually? I mean, let's
Um,
take this project as an example. From concept to actual prototype, how long does it took you?
it depends actually. Generally, it depends how extensive this process is. So, few companies have, for an example, few companies have some benchmark products. That's how few
Mhm,
companies work. They have
mhm,
some benchmark products, and then they want to replicate it, or they want to, make the changes in those fundamental project, and then they
mhm.
have to bring their own originality, and then they club it together. Then the brief is made, products are shortlisted, and then if there is requirement of making a new product, then we do the sketches, some ideation on the project, product.
Mhm.
Then we make the prototypes of it, and then we test with the kids. During also we make brief curriculum. Basically, we
Mm.
make the fundamental curriculum. Based on those curriculum, we work on the ideas of the product.
Oh, that's a pretty in-depth process, and that process take about a month. Wait, how long is it
Yeah,
again?
around a year, 6 months and a year, because you have to make the prototype, you have to, test the samples of the products, and you have to try the technicality of the product and many other aspects to it.
I see. I think your product design process is definitely more in depth because for my product, usually it took us about 3 months. We do it really fast. We
Yeah,
do
I
it
mean,
like
it
about 3 months
depends.
until prototyping, and then 6 months we're launching already. We're already
Yeah,
launching
it
it.
depends.
So yeah.
Of course, again, like I said, it depends completely on the resources available, and how, when you're working alone or maybe few small team, then it's if the work become faster. But when you're working with corporates, especially who are too
Mm.
thought processing, where they want to put money, how much money, then approval processes, and
Yeah.
then vendor hiring and all that, so admin
Mhm.
work also take lot of different timeline.
I see, I see. Well, that's a major disadvantage in the corporate. It's like imagine driving a Titanic. How fast can you
Yeah,
turn the boat, right? You couldn't really turn it
exactly.
really fast. But a small company like
Exactly.
myself, that's like only have 9 employees, we can make decision on the spot. I don't need to get corporate approval
Exactly.
because I'm the one
Yeah,
that making decision, not someone up there like 3 level up.
exactly.
you know,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
faster
yeah.
for
But
smaller
with
companies.
big corporates also, when big corporates are doing this for the first time, it's more or like a startup.
Mhm.
So they are also figuring it out with the vendors, the people who are right, and who are the right vendors. If there are five vendors, then two will be shortlisted with the quality of the
We
product,
have the similar
or maybe
process.
a pricing.
Yeah, but
Yeah. So
the
more
reason
or less,
I think the other advantage that my team have is I, as a business owner, or I'm also the coordinator for in kind of supply chain and logistics. I speak Chinese, so I when I talk to the Chinese supplier, it's like very direct. It's like, can you make this? Yes or no? Let's just go, 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 and we move super
yeah,
fast. And I think this is also kind of our unique advantage as a company compared to big corporate toy company with like 200 employee, for example, because we have small
yeah.
team, we need to make decision fast because otherwise how do we make money? Right?
Exactly.
So
But here
yeah.
also one more thing is, China is already established. When you talk about this country, they are already
Mhm.
established in manufacturing and production and toy making.
Yes.
They already have a city, toy city, and many other, cities are developed in production of toys.
Yes. Yes.
However, when we talk about India,
Mhm.
India is in a growing stage. So
True,
they
true,
are
true.
also figuring out, a lot of people are figuring out. So
Mm.
actually during the process when I was developing toys, I was developing vendor, because
Oh,
I
okay.
was, on and on, one-in-one discussion with them to know,
Yes.
tell them I want this material. Do you have this material? Can you source
Ah,
this material?
yeah. I
So
see. That also slows
that's the
things down
complexity.
a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah. I see. I
Yeah,
see.
because I have worked in China also with Hape, so I know
Yes.
how quick they are. And
Mm-hmm.
you can make anything in 1 day or 2 day probably. It's
Mm-hmm.
fast. The skill, the
Mm-hmm.
labor, the materials. But India has been developed a lot and
Mm-hmm.
been processed. But like if you look back at during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
we were on a starting age right now. So
Mm-hmm.
it took
Mm-hmm.
some time, but now I think India has found its own place.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Hape. I was just on the call with the US CEO of Hape earlier, so it's funny that you mentioned that. So anyway, so the other question I have based on your experience, since you kind of already mentioned a little bit, I want to talk a little bit about the toy manufacturing and the toy industry in India compared to the rest of other country, because that's something very unique advantage that the Indian-based toy company have. For example, based on my understanding, but correct me if I'm wrong, the Indian government is also giving out some subsidy, trying to encourage more manufacturing activities in India as they are trying to compete against China. Is that true? And what has the government has been doing in the recent years trying to catch up to China?
Yeah, actually, it was very important for India as a country to know their place value of a toy industry in India.
Yeah.
What we bring to this sector as a country,
Mm-hmm.
and it happened on the right time during COVID, when
Yes.
the things were exchanged were slowed down. Then
Yeah.
there were some government rules and regulations were put forward to at least stoppage on the import and export, at least on the duties,
Yes.
and then that will allow India as a country to venture into it. So many
Mm.
toy
Okay.
clusters has been developing in India. State-wise toy clusters are developing in India. Then there are
Mm-hmm.
a lot of toy fairs are being organized,
In India as well.
especially being organized by um, government of the India. So
Mm.
many
Okay.
activities are still going on, as
Mm-hmm.
putting India to the center and
Mm-hmm.
understand what we bring to this industry,
Yeah.
knowing our capabilities of manufacturing, what we
Mm-hmm.
can manufacture, what we can um, think of in future to do the manufacturing practices, what we can do. Then labor training and a lot of skills are being also been students young students are being taught about toy designing, especially
Mm-hmm.
the labor work, how to work with wood, machines and tools. So a lot of programs are also being organized by Indian government.
Yeah, actually, before I met you, I didn't know there's that many activity in India for the toy industry. It's actually very why like eye opening to learn that. And I talked to my team after we had a meeting last time. Is we are actually doing some research on how much like how big is the industry and how can we get involved and maybe help
Yeah,
with the toy industry in India, because
yeah,
with my background we really do international marketing, not just for company based in US. We do have client from overseas, and we can help client not only launch in US but in UK, EU, and also Japan, because I speak Japanese fluently too. So I thank you so much for bringing that up. Out of all the different toy trade show that I also you also been to a few of them, right? Have you been to anyone
yes.
in US as well, like toy trade show in US?
Actually, I haven't got a
You haven't
chance to
got it.
visit
Okay.
US for now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I'm aiming for
Yeah.
in some few years to attend.
Okay. Let me
Actually,
know when you're coming. We'll meet in person, right?
actually, I
Yeah.
want to join as a toy influencer because I'm creating lot of content around toys in India.
Okay.
to educate parents and to educate the industry, to give my knowledge, what I've learned over the years of 12 years of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm creating my own YouTube content. So through that also, I would definitely aim and manifest to visit those toy fairs and
Mm-hmm.
take away a lot of insights and also give to my audience and globally. It's a good
Yeah.
learning
Yeah, yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What is the name of your YouTube channel? So for the audience, they can also check it out.
Yeah, you can actually see I'm wearing a badge. Is it visible? It's
A little bit.
Toypedia.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so
Uh-huh.
yeah, so it's Toypedia
Toypedia. Okay, okay, okay. Like
by Inu and Bua.
okay, okay. Toypedia. I think Toypedia. Let me search for it. Okay, I can find it just in YouTube right now just by typing in Toypedia. So okay, I will definitely also make sure we include that in
Yeah.
the show note, and hopefully I got a right one. Toypedia. Wait, this is not. Maybe that's not the right one. Let me try to find the right one. Is it Toypedia by?
Toypedia
Uh,
by you can type by
uh,
Inu and Bua.
Oh, that's two. What the? Okay, you might need to double check that some other people is using your same name for their channel.
Yeah, we have
Let's see, let's
actually
see.
applied for trademark, so we'll be awaiting for it to get finalized.
Oh, okay, okay, good, good, good. So maybe you can take out some other people that's trying to steal your name. So okay, so the next question I have for you, because you have been in, in the industry doing what you do for so long, why do you believe in investing in design and research is so essential for the company today?
Firstly, it's important to understand what is present. So
Hmm.
I will put it like in a way which is past, present, and future.
Hmm.
So toy has its own history, toy has its own present, and toy will have its own future.
Yeah.
So right now we are on a present. So we are discovering the present of the toy requirements in the market.
Okay.
But we will be aiming to develop toys for the future. But
Okay.
when you want to design a toys for future, obviously you want research. You want
Hmm.
to understand your user. You want
Yeah.
to understand children. You want to understand whatever your age group is. It's not limited to only children, but
Hmm.
it's endless to all the age groups.
Hmm.
So it's a possibility this industry has, but attention to user study and research is very much important.
Hmm.
Firstly, it gives a lot of interesting ideas to work around.
Hmm.
It gives lot of opportunity area to play with, to discover. For an example, there can be many problem areas where you can
Hmm.
solve it through toys.
Hmm.
Like people are using it for education purpose, people are discovering it for the STEM, people are discovering toys for other AI and other subjects. So
Hmm.
toys is not only limited to just a little bit of play, but it has lot many value to it. But
Yeah.
when we also focus upon future and present, we need to understand user where they are evolving. And when
Hmm.
you don't understand your user, you end up making the same toys which are available in the market, or
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
end up
Yeah.
modifying it. You end up repeating. Let's example for an example. A lot of people go to another toy fairs in the different country. They bring the
Hmm.
sample and then they try to tweak it and then they publish their own design. But
Yeah.
I don't consider that's okay. I mean that's not a problem. But then
Hmm.
if you want to stand out in the market and you want to really dedicate yourself into this industry
Hmm.
and to make a business for your user,
Hmm.
then you have to understand your user very well,
Yeah. I
because
see.
there are a lot of factors that are coming, like screen time is there, other distractions, social media are there. So play
Hmm.
as a behavior is also changing.
Yeah, for sure, for
There is
sure,
a
for
lot of evolution and change that is happening, so you need to understand. And that's why research play a very key role
sure.
for
Yeah,
any company.
and there's actually a company that specializes in doing research as well. I spoke with another company CEO. Her company does toy reviews and play testing. Her company is based out of UK. It's called Good Play Guy. I don't know if you heard of Dr. Amanda's company, but that's what she does. She does toy reviews, and
Mm-hmm.
not just review. And the study was parents and kids, but also with specialists, with like a child psychologist and
Yeah.
other actual expert in the child development world. And her company does an excellent job on trying to actually they give out certifications for once
Mm-hmm.
after they do all the different peer study and the review of the toys, then they will actually issue a official certification, say this toys or this product is actually certified based on their standard. So yeah, that's a very important thing that you bring up to do this case study correct. I mean, to do the design and research correctly for sure. But however, a lot of, especially for smaller startup like myself, the budget can be tight. So how can you
Yes.
balance like the cost of doing research and design with the need to make the company profitable as well? You don't want to overspend in design and research and all that, and you don't have then you run out of money to actually launch the product, because marketing and sales is also can be pretty expensive as well. So based on your experience, do you have any experience doing balancing that?
So I would suggest in that case, any company or any startup, they can do their own researching by the toy designers they are hiring, or even they have a curriculum team, or if they have a child psychiatrist and child, physiologist, if there are people are available in the team, they can also do their research. They can go and talk to people. They can have their own surveys and they can
Mhm.
fill up those surveys, and they can, whatever project they are looking for to work, or if they have any area to work on, or any age group they are looking for to develop, they can also try certain tools to do their in-house user study and of course research, not on a very extensive level, but to a level where they can at least find some insights to draw from those research. Now, since we are online, you can conduct a lot of interviews from parents or whoever your target audience are, and then you can collect a lot of data from them as well. And then you can figure out your insights and know your consumer better in that way. So not necessarily that always you have to hire a big research company. If you do it well and good, but I think there are a lot of people on a middle scale and a lower scale as well who provides research service. If not,
Mhm.
then you can do it by your own team. You can hire interns who are specializing in toy design, and also there are design courses where people do research, and like strategic management courses. There also you can hire interns, and then they can do
Yeah.
your research, and then you can collect the data. So
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
many possibilities to do the research. It's not only
Yeah, and
limited
I
to
have
budget.
something I can share. I was actually sharing that in my webinar yesterday about digital marketing. Is you can utilize your email list to do research as well. For example, for my
Exactly.
own toys brand, we have about 20,000 parents in our email list. So we can send out a survey to the parents, say, this is a new product we are designing, we're developing right now. Can you just fill out a quick 10-minute survey about what you think about the color, the design, or we're just asking for honest feedback here? Those are the best type of research you can do from your actual
Exactly.
customer, not random
Yeah.
people that will never buy your product. If you can get real data from your actual customer, those is usually the best type of research that you can do based on our experience when we're doing product development ourselves. So
Yeah, and actually, there are a lot of people who conduct research on the play based methods as well. And
mhm.
they invite parents over a lunch, they organize a hall, and
Yeah,
where they organize for in fact, for the companies also, they
yeah,
invite their parents, customers with their children, they give away their
yeah,
products, let them play, and they observe them. Then they ask the questions, and then they do one
yeah.
on one interviews. So I think there are a lot of different methods one can follow.
Yeah, and also word of cautious is, especially for those of you that's listening, that's more of on the startup side. don't overthink it. Just do a little bit of research and just start. Just start. And that's so important because sometimes I'll be talking to people, they overanalyze. It's called like analysis by paralysis by analysis. They just keep on analyzing and they don't take any action. They didn't put the product final. They never finalize the product because, oh, we need to improve this based on the survey. We need to improve the other one. It take them like a year trying to finalize everything and nothing happened. And that's a
Exactly.
very common pitfall for
Yeah.
entrepreneur, especially toy entrepreneur. They just tend to overthink. Don't overthink. Get it to, again, just like a just like in the software space, we always in the software industry, they always talk about minimum valuable product. Same as toys. You just get it, 80% there, then you can always make the second version that's better. Don't be perfect. You won't be perfect on the start.
Exactly.
You always make a
Yeah.
better version of it. It's about speed to market. That's more important than every other research that you do. You can do some research, but as a smaller company, you don't have the time and the resource to spend like hours and conducting all the crazy study that bigger company does. It's about
Yeah.
and I think that is a key to be successful competing against giant company. Is you just need to be
Yeah.
implementing a lot faster than the bigger company. So
Actually, one more key point which I'll suggest is where research and user study differentiates. For
hmm,
an example, if I am a startup and if I want to build my toy industry or a company,
yes,
there is one approach where I will just simply whatever toys are available in the market. Let's say I want to make rattles, so I will tweak some design and I can bring and make some rattles and I can
mhm,
sell it out. That's
yeah,
one way.
yes,
Second way is to understand where rattles are used, why rattles are used. Is there any scope to replace rattle or any substitute of rattle where in design can be made, or what is the other possibility of rattle as a toy, you know. So
mhm,
here you are distinguishing yourself as a toy company.
mhm,
One when you're making rattle with different designs, and one where you are actually giving thought to a rattle where the rattle is being used so many years, and now what your user want at current stage, what type of rattle is a requirement. Is it a
mhm,
electronic based, or is it material that it needs to be changed, or
mhm,
is it there is not at all need of a rattle, or maybe some other need which is required for a child for a sound? Because
mhm,
rattle is something which makes sound, it allows a child to hold a grip and actually work on their motor skills.
do you
So
mean leather or I didn't.
rattle as a toy, rattle, you know,
Oh,
that
rattle, like a baby
rattle,
rattle. Oh, baby
yes,
rattle. Okay, got it. The
yeah,
other strategy you can do, because my background is digital marketing, is you can get a lot of data by doing digital marketing researches. The best platform to do research is what? Amazon, because you can look at the
exactly,
review. Just look at the
yeah,
review. Look, especially you want to look at 1 star, 2 star, and 3 star review. Look at the critical review because those are the one that is the potential product improvement that you can make against your competitor. It's like, okay, why is people leaving the competitor 1 star review? As okay, maybe they need to have a better feature. The battery doesn't work or whatever doesn't work. That's another like a gold mine of data that you can look at without doing any user study because it's
yeah,
actual buyer leaving review and giving you like
yeah,
really long comment about, okay, this is the reason why I don't like it. There's one paragraph about it. So that's free research that you can do. You don't even need to do any, you don't even need to spend money trying to conduct research group as much if you know where to look. So
yeah,
that is another tip of advice when you come to product development and design. You can really speed up the process just by downloading data from Amazon because Amazon is open source. All the
hmm.
review is everyone can see it. So you don't need to pay anyone to get that kind of information. So
Yeah, very valid point. And actually, I must also admit the fact that, you know, people when take research seriously, they tend to get lost between the research,
yeah,
and they just it's a endless, it becomes endless
yeah,
process, you know, it doesn't stops anywhere. But of course, as a
yeah.
toy entrepreneur, you need to know where to stop and where
Stop.
you're
Yeah.
leading your research to.
That's a very good
And
point. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
and where what is the smartest way? I mean, analyzing your
Mm.
data and your research on timely basis to what your end goal is very important in research.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I guess my next question is, with the fast changing trend in the toy industry, how do you, as a toy designer yourself, to stay ahead in your, thinking while ensuring the product is still relevant to today's market? Uh, do you have any advice?
So, actually, honestly, if I do a confession here, I have stopped taking a few projects of design in
Mhm.
industry because there are always requirement of the same type of products to be developed.
Mm.
It doesn't had most of the products projects that comes doesn't have uniqueness to it, or it may be, this is a product, can you design it a little bit change for the product in this,
Yeah,
and this is like, say, let's can you design a rattle for me, or
yeah,
can you design a puzzle for me? So even a toy designer myself face lot of challenges,
yeah,
because how long you will be putting your creativity to something which you have already designed for a companies,
yeah,
and you have worked with it, and you know that there are hundred of puzzles in the market.
yeah, yeah,
Of
yeah, yeah,
course,
yeah.
there are variants to puzzles, 3D, 2D form, and different materials.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But until and unless there is no innovation involved, then I
yeah.
think you are a as a toy designer, I'm lost, because
That's
that
the
project is
point.
not exciting for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like the same thing over and over again. Nothing
Exactly. So
interesting.
even
Yeah,
my creativity
yeah.
gets hampered at time, and even I have to reflect that whether I have to do the project to for the sake of earning money, or
Hmm.
do I have to really invest my knowledge and energy to something which is really fruitful for the company, for the customer, and for
Yeah,
the benefit of the product. So
yeah.
even I had taken a few breaks in my toy design career as well, which was
Hmm.
recently, where I have found a stagnation in the market. Of course,
Hmm.
there are a lot of people who are doing innovation, but also as a toy designer, I need to go back and reflect and collect myself from what's
Hmm.
going on and what future is looking for.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
and that's how even as a toy designer, when I introspect myself, I
Hmm.
have to thoughtfully gain a lot of knowledge of my own to understand today's user, what they will
Hmm.
expect, carefully
Yeah,
watching them and noticing them. So that's how even I cope up with such possibilities and see
I
what
see.
can be worked out.
I see, I see. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge and all your experience in the toy design space. And as we are kind of winding down in today's interview, the final question I always like to ask every single guest is, what is your advice to someone that's new to the toy industry, maybe as a toy designer themselves, and how should they start in 2024 or 2025?
I think, first of all, understand your user. Understand which audience you want to build up a product for. A toy, maybe if you want to develop toy, then understand your user.
Hmm.
Firstly, my advice would be, don't just enter as a toy entrepreneur just to with the thought process of making money. Of course, your objective is to make money, but just because it's a scalable industry doesn't means that you will survive.
That's a good point. Very good
Doesn't
point.
mean that you will survive with what people are already making in the market or tweaking
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Of
yeah,
course
yeah,
it will work for some time, not necessarily it will also have its own market, but
yeah.
I would suggest to be a toypreneur, take some time, understand user, understand them, read about them, know about them, talk to a lot of people in the industry before getting into this business.
Hmm.
Talk to toy designers, talk to manufacturers and vendors and many people from the industry, get their perspective, do
Mm.
your sum up together, and then decide to what field, what product, and where you want to lead as a toypreneur.
Yeah, and my advice is don't overthink. Like I didn't have any industry experience. I just do it.
Yeah, with
So,
the mindset,
yeah.
if you really want to get into it, do it. And of
Yeah.
course, it has a scalable business in the market.
Yes.
Children need so many toys and play materials, but I
Yeah.
think you have to love those, that job. You have to love
100%.
it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
You
You
have
need to
to
have a
enjoy
why.
it.
Yeah, I believe as a business owner, your why need to be bigger than yourself.
Yeah,
Like for example,
yeah,
my business, my why is to empower, support, and educate kids with learning differences so they can
yeah,
live a life full of possibility. That's bigger than myself. That's like, I really want to change life across the globe of family with kids with special needs, like myself that have kids
hmm,
with special needs. And so when the things really get tough, like for example, during COVID, the business was doing really bad. I didn't give up because a lot of entrepreneurs I talk to, they tend to give up too early when it's like struggle, things happen. But you know what? Business things happen. There's always some kind of things happen in the business. Not
yeah,
everything is going to be very smooth sailing. And toy design is just one component. There's also
yes,
manufacturing, there's supply
yeah,
chain, there's sales, there's marketing, there's finance. There's so many things you need to know if you really want
yeah,
to be a true toy entrepreneur. And design is just one tiny component, and that's also
yes,
managing your
exactly.
team, managing your
Yeah,
vendor, managing
yeah,
all the other stuff. So
yeah.
it's just a starting point. But I think your advice is very valid, and thank you for sharing that. So for our audience, where can people find you online?
So they can connect with me on my portfolio link. It's on Behance, which is
Mm,
Noshita Sahu. They can
mm,
also reach me through my email ID, which is noshitasahu@yahoo.com. And then also I can share my YouTube link where they can
mm,
see my content. And of course, they can write it into comments and get in touch with me. So
mm.
also, if you want to share my contact number, I can share my contact number as well, which is very much available. So I am very
Mm.
good respondent at phone and of course on emails. So that can be the direct point of view to
I see.
contact.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your experiences and sharing your knowledge within the industry. So, for our listener, thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Toy Business Unboxed. We hope you have enjoyed the conversation and find it insightful and inspiring. If you like what you have heard, be sure to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform so you never miss an episode. We really appreciate your support and would love it if you can leave us a review and share the podcast with your friend and colleague. For more resource tips and on the latest update within the toys and the game industry, visit our website at toy-launch.com. Join the conversation and connect with us on social media using hashtag Toy Business Unbox. We'd love to hear your feedback and suggestion for future episodes. Until next time, keep innovating, keep creating, keep bringing joy to toys. This is Jason Shake signing off on the Toy Business Unbox podcast. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.